Hi guys, and welcome back to our new channel called Single, Married, Separated, Divorced, and Single Again. Anyway, on this channel, as I said, that's why we're gonna call it Let's Talk, because it's a brand new channel, so we have a lot of things that we can discuss concerning like singleness, and even things like married, like separated. Obviously, now you got married, you were single, then you got married, and now you're separated, and you tried to work things out, and now eventually you got divorced, and now you're single again, and now you are looking at, am I going to remain single forever, or am I even going to try this thing called marriage again? And I think that's where sometimes we get stuck, because most people, especially most women who got divorced, get stuck between, do I get married again, or do I remain single and still have sexual relations with men? Obviously, kind of kind of being single but not that single. So on today's episode, we're gonna discuss what does it mean to be single, and I think on the last episode we discussed being married but still single while married, and I think I touched a little bit based on that. um so and we're also going to discuss things, for example, like how long do you have to wait when after a divorce to actually get involved again. And I think that's one of those things where it's only so much applicable to women. Like, women, it's expected to have to wait so much longer than men. Men can actually just go through themselves in the dating game without having to feel guilty, which is unfair. So before we get started into the whole thing of like, what does it mean to be single? If you're new on this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment. And don't forget to push that notification button so that every single time we obviously upload a new video, you are going to be notified so that you don't miss anything on this channel. And as I said, on this channel, we're gonna go live here and sometime. So, but I'm gonna notify you of that. And before we get further on, let's take a break and then come back with a juicy thing. Words have different meanings to different people. For example, when you say you are single, what do you mean? Are you single because you're not married? Or are you single because you're not dating? Can you see what I mean? Okay, we're back again, and we're gonna go straight away to the point of what does it mean to be single, really. And I think the dictionary meaning of being single, as it says, was like when someone is in a non-stable relationship or sexual relationship, then that's single. Now, when we are discussing singleness, I'm not gonna go into like from a Christian perspective or from like a normal or general perspective of being single, but I'm just gonna discuss it in general. I really, to be quite honest, if I have to talk about myself, I feel like I never really had an opportunity to be single. Because I got married. Anyway, first of all, before I even go further about it, I was talking about, at the beginning of the clip, I was talking about how sometimes when you have been divorced, people give up on trying again, and even getting married again and just decide that they're gonna probably just remain single. And I think that's okay to decide to remain single. It's not a problem. For me personally, I just have to break the ice, and I think I've said it before. I'm divorced for the second time. I got married, like I think my first marriage I was 18, and then on the second one I think I was 30. And they were both wonderful marriages, but obviously along the line in my first relationship, my first marriage, there was infidelity. There was a second woman, or let me say a lot of other second women, if I had to say that. I actually found out about the other women only later on, when I was like gone yeah, out of the relationship. In my second marriage, it was much more about how, I think I shared in my previous marriage how I was married but I was single. That's because my now ex-husband was obviously not here in Canada. So I've been living a single life literally for like 5 good years. And then for another, how many, I think additionally 4 years. Obviously the 5 years I'm talking about, I was literally, we didn't even see each other, like, because I couldn't travel. And then after I started to travel, it was still a single life, because I was like going up and forth, back and forth, and so on. So I was still really a single woman who's married. So in that sense, um, so I think because we have been away from each other for like so many years, a lot of things change between us. Obviously, we really, as soon as we got together, now we are not living in a single relationship. Now we are together, because now he's here in Canada. We obviously try to kind of get over the differences that, like, living away from each other for 9 years, it's quite a period. It's like a decade, right? And people change, and people interest in things change, people view of things change, and so on. And one of the things that for me personally was much more my husband, or my ex now, type of music. Obviously it's not that I was expecting him to be doing music that has to, like, godly music only. He could do other music, but I think it's a kind of like dancers that bothers me. They were, most of the dancers on his music were kind of, for me, half naked. He didn't see it that way. So that's why I'm saying we see things differently, and that's okay. I don't judge people based on what they see, because I mean, we are allowed to have different opinions about things, but at the same time, we are not supposed to be forced to see things the same way. So just because you see it that way doesn't mean I will see it that way. So, you know. So having said that, so now I have 2 failed marriages, and I'm not necessarily proud that now I have 2 failed marriages, but I'm also not embarrassed, because I always say that men are hard to actually commit themselves to a woman, especially in a marriage. They overthink it, because men don't really want divorce, right? They really want to go into a marriage, provide, protect, and so on. And sometimes things doesn't go that well. So if in this case, I have 2 wonderful, amazing gentlemen who committed themselves to me, even though it didn't work out. For me, it's a compliment. And guys, I'm going into a 3rd marriage for sure. Like, the thing about me, why I'm explaining this, is because I believe in marriage. I haven't given up on believing in marriage. So even though I'm divorced twice, I'm definitely the kind of woman who wants to be in a relationship with a man. Now, that's a problem, and I don't think I was supposed to explain it on this, video, but that's a problem. I think women like me are being seen as, oh no, you can live on your own, Jehova. Like, are you desperate? Like, don't you love yourself to be able to live on your own? And I'm like, actually, it's because I love myself. And that's why I know that, you know, when God says it's not good for men to be alone, He knows exactly what He meant. And I'm a phenomenal lover. I love passionately. I have a lot of love in me. So I don't want to end up alone with this so much love. Like, what do I do with this love that I have? Where do I pour it? And please don't say it on my children. I have enough love for my children, but the love that you have for a man is different. So therefore, I go back to my point that I want a man. I want to be in a relationship with a man. I make time in my schedule to fit, a man into my schedule to be able to date and so on. But going back to the point before this explanation, I was saying that I didn't really have time in my life as I was growing up to be single. And at this very moment, I am really enjoying being single. Let's take a break and come back, and then I will go further on. So I'm back. So I was trying to say that I really never had an opportunity to be single because I got married early and so on. And now at my age, I am single and I don't know what to say. I don't know, but I'm enjoying being single. I'm enjoying being single, and that doesn't mean that because I'm enjoying being single, I want to remain single. No, but I'm enjoying getting to know myself, getting to know things about me that I really didn't know existed, maybe because I didn't have an opportunity to get to know myself and so on. So being single right now, it's like, oh my God, I'm like, and I know like a lot of people say, oh my God, Jehova, you're glowing, are you in love? And yes, I kind of was seeing someone before, a very nice gentleman from Haiti. I called him the king from Haiti. Very nice guy. I think he was the most, he's obviously still is, but we are not seeing each other. We do talk, but I think we both realized we had many things that were not coinciding, even though he saw me as a good woman and all that, and even though I saw him as a very, very good man, a gentleman. Oh my God, he was such a gentleman. The king of Haiti. Like, even if we're in an argument, I think I love the way we handle our arguments. There was no, like, he was just, I don't know, he was just a very good man. But I'm happy to say that right now I'm single and I'm enjoying being single. And I'm not on a dating site. I met the king of Haiti from Tinder, like, yeah, that dating site. But I'm not on a dating site right now. I have decided that I will pursue other means of like being able to get to know a man and so on. So I'm not on a dating site, but right now I'm enjoying being single. And I think one of the reasons why I'm saying where I'm enjoying being single now is that I realize, and I'm probably going to put this out to the young single woman, that one of the things that I feel myself back then was that because you are so young, you feel like, oh, your time is running. You probably need to get married to get settled down so that you can have your children while you're young so that you can enjoy. Things doesn't work that way. I can tell you right now. I have a 28-year-old and a 13-year-old, and things doesn't work that way. So I can tell you right now, enjoy being single. Don't rush into anything. I don't think I rush into any of my marriages though, because I fall in love with the first one and it was love at first sight. The second one wasn't love at first sight. I got to love, him, the way he was just, after me, and all that. But at the same time, as I'm saying, right now I'm enjoying being single. I think it's because you don't have that urge of like, oh no, you have to like get married soon because maybe your time of having children is gonna pass you by. Because I feel like maybe I'm not gonna get more children. I feel I'm at a time where I'm happy if I don't get children, but You never know. You never know. You know, when I was dating the king of Haiti, he absolutely was into not going to have more children. So we were at the same kind of space. But what if I meet a man and this man specifically wants children? I probably don't mind, but it can be a man that's gonna pressurize me into, oh no, I'm gonna be very much put it out there that I'm not in a space to have children. If we happen to, that's okay, and so on. But let's talk about singleness and so on. So being single, it's not a bad thing. Like I feel like I've met women who are single, maybe they lost their husband and they decided to remain single. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think if you decide to be single, it's bad or like it's a bad idea. I know when you're a Christian, you feel like, oh no, you have to get married and so on. Don't put pressure on people. If people decide to to remain single, it's okay. Now I think that's different from somebody who say, oh no, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, this narrative for I have an education, all those things. That's different from deciding to be single. And I want to make that clear, because when you say you don't need a man but then you have sexual relations with men, I'm like, what do you mean? You need a sex body? You don't need a man, but you need a sex body? Or what do you mean? And then you have this man taking you out, buying you groceries. Like, what do you mean? Are you using men? Because eventually we realize that you don't need a man. If you don't need a man, you might need a woman. Like, I know that one way or the other, you need, So it's either way, right? And I'm not going to go into details on the other side because I'm not, versed into that. I'm just talking about, like singleness as, like as a person who decide to be single. I feel like don't judge people who decide to remain single, because it's okay, it's a choice. If you want to remain single in the sense of like you don't want to get married, because the problem with singleness is that it kind of has different meanings to different people as well. Sometimes when somebody will say they want to be single, as a Christian, probably you mean like you don't want to get married and you're also not going to be in a relationship. On the other side, if you're not a Christian, probably you mean you will be in a sexual relationship, but in that sense, it changed meaning, because when you say you are single, because some people who say they want to remain single, they just don't want a relationship at all, in that sense. Like they want to be alone. So that's a decision on your own that you make on your own terms. No issue about it. For me personally, I am single right now. I'm enjoying being single, but for me, eventually, I want to be able to meet a man and being able to pour this much. I have a lot of love. And one of the things that I say is that I'm looking for a man who has children, because I am so crazy about kids. So God will be blessing me. And this is the reason I mention this, is because I talk to people who say, oh no, Jehova, I don't want a man who has kids. I'm like, are you serious? Kids are blessing you. Don't want a man who has kids? And they think I'm crazy, me wanting to or wishing even a man who has kids. And I know that God will bless me with a man who has kids, but not only that, who I am going to be a mom to these kids. I don't know whether it's going to be a man who's who's maybe divorced, or maybe he's not in a relationship with a person, or whatever that is. But I know, because remember, at my age, that the men that you're going to get, it's not because, obviously I don't want to be a sugar mommy. So I'm not going to get, a young man who's not having kids in that sense. So when I say I want a man, it's not that I'm wishing somebody to divorce their wife. Obviously that's not, but I know that at my age, you're probably going to get someone who's, if they have kids and they're not in a relationship, or they are maybe not married, it means either they are divorced or they have never gotten married, and still they probably have kids. You know what I mean? So I know exactly what I'm praying for. And I'm praying for a man who has kids that he's responsible for, that I can help him raise. because I love kids. Yeah, but having said that, I think, because I don't want these videos to be too long, we come to the end of it. But obviously we will discuss this in the future. It's not like this is the only time we're gonna discuss singleness. I'm probably gonna go like on a live stream where we discuss singleness. But the next one, I think we're gonna discuss feminism, like this new, like the first wave of feminism, second wave, third wave. But I think it's now being taken out of proportion, and I'm gonna discuss that in our next video. So for now, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and like and comment. Comments help us know how we're doing and whether what we're delivering is good, and our friends like it and so on. So please don't forget to comment and push that notification button so that every single time we upload a new video, you are ahead of your game. And we have 3 other channels. I will discuss it on the next video. Take care. Bye, guys.